One of the oldest questions we humans ask ourselves is, who am I really? We spend so much of our lives trying to figure that out, searching for that one moment of true self-knowledge. But what if the way we've all been taught to look is just fundamentally wrong?
No, seriously, just take a second. If you had to write down a totally honest assessment of your character, your good parts, your bad parts, how accurate do you really think it would be?
The advice is always the same, right? From ancient philosophers to modern self-help gurus, they all say, look inside. Meditate, reflect, dig deep. They tell us all the answers we're looking for are just waiting in there.
Okay, so this is where we're going to dive in, because the whole idea we're exploring today makes a pretty gutsy claim. It says that this entire approach, this looking inward, is a huge mistake. That our inner mirror is basically cracked, distorted, and in the end, it just can't show us the truth.
I mean, wow, that's a powerful statement. The argument here is that when we look inward, we aren't really looking for the truth. A lot of the time, we're just looking for confirmation of what we already want to believe about ourselves. It's like a closed loop.
And this slide just frames the problem perfectly. On one side, you've got our own judgment. It's based on how we feel that day, it's biased, and well, as the source argues, it's totally undependable. But then on the other side, there's this different standard of judgment, one that isn't based on our shifting moods, but on an external, unchanging truth.
The story of Adam from the Bible is such a brilliant illustration of this. So when Adam first looks inward, after making a huge mistake, what's the first thing he does? He sees his fault, his shame, and his immediate instinct is to cover it up, right? He weaves some fig leaves. It's only when an outside voice calls to him, "Where are you?" that he's forced to actually deal with the reality of the situation and confess. So introspection showed him the problem, yeah, but it led straight to a cover-up, not a solution.
So, okay, if looking inward is the problem, what's the solution? Let's get into this next part and see how the case is made for a totally different source of light.
This one verse is really the key to the whole thing. It's suggesting that true self-knowledge, seeing light, only happens when we're standing in a different, more powerful light, what it calls thy light.
So let's break that down, because it's a little poetic. The first light it talks about is God's perspective. Think of it like a giant, powerful searchlight. The second light is the actual clarity we get about ourselves when that searchlight hits us. We literally can't see the truth of our own situation until it's revealed by this outside source. And the purpose of this light isn't to make us feel a certain way. Its only job is to manifest, to reveal what is actually there. You know, when you flip on the lights in a dark room, the light doesn't create the messy pile of clothes on the chair. It just shows you it was there all along. That's the idea.
I know this can all sound a little abstract, so let's look at a couple of really powerful stories from the source that kind of show this whole concept in action. Okay, so the story starts with this guy who is completely 100% confident in his own self-assessment. He doesn't think he needs saving. From his own point of view, his own inward look, everything is just fine. Now, her response is fascinating. She doesn't argue with him. She doesn't try to use logic. Instead, she challenges him to pray a very simple and what turns out to be a very dangerous prayer, to simply be shown the truth about himself.
And the result is immediate, and it's overwhelming. When that external light shines on him, his entire self-perception is just shattered. He doesn't just feel a little bit guilty. He is completely undone by what he sees. The difference between his own introspection and this revelation, it's just night and day.
And here's the really crucial point. This light doesn't just show us our obvious hidden flaws, it goes way deeper. It takes the things we're most proud of, our good deeds, our accomplishments, our pure motives, and it shows us the hidden selfishness or the emptiness that might be lurking inside them.
This leads to a really important distinction the author makes. There is a huge difference between having intellectual knowledge about these things and actually experiencing this divine light.
This table lays it out perfectly. Knowledge comes from our own minds, right? And it can actually make us proud. We can collect facts about our supposed flaws like they're trophies. But this idea of light is different. It's said to come from the Holy Spirit, and its effect is the total opposite. It leads to humility, to a real desire to change. See, knowledge is static. It's a stored memory. Light is active. It's a live revelation happening right now. This quote just sums it all up. The moment that powerful, live experience of revelation is over and we try to file it away in our memory, it loses its power. It just becomes another piece of information, another dead fact. So, after all of this, what do we take away? After tearing down this whole idea of introspection, what are we left with? Let's bring it all to a really powerful conclusion.
If there is one thing to remember from all this, it's this right here. The story we tell ourselves about ourselves is, well, it's probably fiction, or at least a very heavily edited version of the truth. We just can't trust our own judgment. This is a prayer that was found in the margins of a missionary's Bible. And it's terrifying, isn't it? To ask to see yourself completely, with no filters, no fig leaves we made to protect our egos. It's pretty much the ultimate expression of wanting to trade our self-deception for cold, hard truth.
And that's the question we're left with. What parts of our lives, our motivations, maybe even our proudest moments, what would they look like in that light? It's a challenging thought, for sure. And maybe, just maybe, it's the start of a completely different kind of journey toward knowing ourselves.